Who are we talking to? Ladies and gentlemen?
Dun, dun,
Everything in between?
Dun, 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 dun. Until
Megan-
we have rubbish, or until we have our podcast theme.
Megan is back from... I pictured you learning how to Gregorian chant to... like Fifth Element style, like the opera singer in there. Like she went to the
Diva
fucking
Plava
moon.
Laguna.
Yes. I'm really glad you remembered that.
That's my favorite shit. Of course I know that.
Yeah, so Megan went to a camp on Saturn to learn how to do that. We will be harvesting the stones inside of her abdomen
The
soon.
stones are in me.
I knew you'd be able to just fucking roll with that one. And I'm glad.
Supreme being.
I did almost get a cardboard cutout of you and just...
You should have one anyway.
Sit alone and do this and cry. Because...
You can just call me.
I was fucking... This is like a pressure valve, and I gotta do it.
It feels so good to just do it. That's a little snippet that I have to start our theme off.
Okay. Oh,
the doing of it. That's like the idea I have behind it. So I'm still marinating on it. The doing of it. It's the doing of it.
She's talking about the fucking theme song that she's writing for this podcast.
It's gonna happen.
Y'all's dicks are gonna be blown off and then
Your
blown
dicks
on.
Fall right off your body.
And you'll lose them and you don't need them anymore.
You'll become angels.
You'll grow a cloaca.
Everything you have will just morph into a cloaca and you'll float up into the sky and live on a cloud.
Our first conversation on cloacas was how we were talking about... I forgot. We were at a pizza place with Aaron, and I was talking about how I don't fuck with cinnamon rolls because it's like 80% hard, inedible brick foam.
Yeah, it gets hard on the outside.
It's disgusting, but the inside is like licking an angel cloaca. It's like that's...
I remember we were at Home Slice and we got the garlic knots. No surprise. And that angel cloaca thing just ripped me to shreds. My side split. I was toast.
I retold it to all my coworkers at Yummy Noob the next day, and like for people who aren't in our realm, they're like, what's a cloaca? And you're like, it's the hole that everything...
We love this all-purpose hole. We love an all-purpose hole.
Maxima.
I feel like there's a reference to cloaca in every one of our episodes.
It's just
like
important.
a symbol. I don't know. It's one of our totems.
We should just rename the podcast to the Cloaca Hour.
The Cloaca Zone.
And we just go, caw, caw, caw.
And we birth
Listen to my call.
eggs from our cloaca. I don't know.
If you ever are so lucky to have a cinnamon roll from Aaron, his whole fucking cinnamon roll is the inside. Because he's like, I use a brioche dough. And
He uses an enriched ass dough.
And the whole thing is soft.
It's so soft. Well, he bakes it perfectly too.
Oh my God.
And he's got a little combi oven that has a steam element.
And then the icing isn't too sweet. Oh God, I will pay him $100
spoiled.
for a fucking cinnamon roll from Aaron.
If you ever get to eat anything made by Aaron Anderson, you should consider yourself fucking lucky.
A little background knowledge, he has a fucking degree in bioengineering. So now he bakes.
Yeah, he uses his precise knowledge of engineering to create flavor blasted tidbits.
If the rapture happens, Aaron's the first one gone because God was like, I need him back.
We need to get those cinnamon rolls going up here.
He just becomes the fucking...
Heaven would be hell for Aaron. He don't want that shit.
He becomes a cinnamon roll concubine. And the title of today's...
Cinnamon roll concubine.
How do you spell cinnamon?
So scanamon. S-I-N. No, I'm smacking on a Sour Patch.
That's a different kind of cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
I'm stuck.
We can't move past this point. We're toast.
Concubine. It's like a turban, not a turban, a turbine. Very different.
Who's a turbine? The concubine?
Concubine, but it's just
It's a concu.
Yeah.
That's right.
Ooh.
Oh my god. We are so blessed to be here.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited.
I'm already crying.
I'm so mad that I didn't do this with you last week. But I had some shit popping off.
You were insane. I can't imagine catering for 10 people a day while also teaching other people and like...
It was cool. I like to be booked like that, but it doesn't really give me time to like do the cool creative things I want to do.
Yeah.
Which is the reason why I stopped working 40 hours a week. 9 to 5. I never worked that, but more like
5 to 9?
7 to, I don't know. But anyway, it feels good to have that kind of leeway in my schedule where sometimes it's fucking busy and sometimes I have downtime and I can make stupid videos that make me laugh. Like this morning. I made a stupid video
Did
that
you
made
post
me
it?
laugh.
I haven't.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the Shooty Hoops jammer. But it's like there's no Shooty Hoops. It's just my conflict with the Torchy's tacos, baby. I hate that thing so much.
I fucking hate Torchy's tacos.
Sucks.
Okay, here's what Torchy's tacos does. They put a fucking chicken finger in a fucking flour tortilla and they call it a fucking taco, and fat people line up and scream and beg for more, and you're like, it's a fucking $9 chicken finger in a fucking tortilla. What are you doing?
It's just, you can do so much better, Like there are so many good places to get tacos in Austin, and that place has a rotating baby demon above it, and it's just a symbol of bad things. So I made a video about it. Go look at it.
I am so fucking glad, because I had no idea that you also hate Torchy's tacos. And then they've got like the Republican taco and the Democrat taco, and people love that shit.
What's on the Republican taco?
I don't fucking know. I'm not even gonna say
it. Elephant?
I almost said so. Yeah. It's poached elephant.
Poached elephant on that. And then the Democrat taco would be braised donkey, right?
Yes.
Probably be better.
Now I would go to your taco restaurant.
Oh yeah.
That would be fucking hilarious.
We'd put together some nasty, great combinations.
Like, you'd probably get arrested real quick for having elephant tacos, but I would try one.
We would have to try at least one, before they go extinct.
And you're like, are these soda cups made of ivory?
C'est la vie. Live it up while you've got it, right?
Speaking of ivory, this is the story I wanted to bring up for you. A woman bought at a Goodwill in Austin a 2,000-year-old Roman bust that she bought for $30. Yeah,
Which Goodwill?
I know, right? She saw it and thought it was fake, but also noticed how it was super detailed. And then she's like, I tried to pick it up and it was fucking 50 pounds. And she's like, oh, this is real marble.
No way.
So she took it home. She bought it for $30. Took it home, emailed pictures of it to art historians. And they were like, yo, where the fuck did you find that? They're like, that's real.
How did it end up at a Goodwill?
So if I can remember the story, because we're filming on our phone. Our phone, you and my's phone.
This is our phone that's filming. And this is also our phone where I'm going to look it up.
So there was some Bavarian king who bought up a shit ton of art in what is now modern day Germany, like in the early 19th century, because he was like trying to compete with Paris and Rome and whatever.
Yeah.
And so he had it for a long time. And then obviously during World War II, Germany got the shit bombed out of them. And there was a lot of looting. So there's a lot of missing art. So they think that
checks out.
Either an American soldier may have like, I'm trying to think though, if you were a soldier bombing Germany, you're like, oh, I'm going to grab the heaviest fucking thing I could find.
Well, you just grab whatever you can. I imagine.
Then run. I mean,
run.
But just like, I don't know. I think, or somebody bought it from a looter. an American bought it from a looter. And then I guess like I was thinking about that too, and then they died, and then their kids were just like clearing out their fucking
Dad's
estate.
weird bust. He always had in the den.
So she's gonna get a finder's fee, and then it's going back to Germany. It's in San Antonio right now on display for a couple years.
But it belongs in Germany?
Yes, because the Bavarian king purchased it in the early 19th century.
That reminds me of a Simpsons, you know the part, shit, what is it called? With Asa Phelps, where Grandpa's military shit, and Monty Burns, there's like the Tondine, and they have all these paintings.
That must be a deep-ass episode.
Oh, shit. It's where Bart and Grandpa try and get the last key from Burns so they can get the paintings.
We've been friends for years. This is the first episode I do not remember.
That's okay. We'll watch it and we'll give you the rundown. We'll make a reel of it. But yeah, at the end there's like this snobby German EDM like descendant of the Bavarian king, for example. And he's like,
what is the Bavarian king filled with? It's just like, it's so hard not to think that they're a donut. Like,
yeah, Bavarian things are always very sweet and creamy, aren't they? But anyway, he's just like, oh, funny boys, get a room. And he just has all the paintings in his trunk. And he's like, watch the speaker system, yeah. So it's just a stupid Simpsons reference. This is the only thing my brain is full of. Can't help it.
She can't help it.
But that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of her for buying it. $35 is a lot for something at Goodwill.
Especially something really heavy. I'm like, I'm just going to leave that here. I'm not going to purchase it.
Yeah, like, I kind of want that on my bookshelf, but I don't have anything that would
that's
support
right.
it.
She's like a professional antiques dealer, so she may have just been going off of her intuition and picking something up.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm crunching again.
She's crunching.
So I was thinking, I had a discussion with my brother this morning, and we were talking about identity in general, like, because he sent me a picture like 3 weeks ago and he looked a specific way, and then he sent me a picture from 2 weeks ago and he looks completely different.
Whoa.
And I also feel like I change my identity pretty often.
Mm-hmm.
Usually by changing my hair or, getting new glasses or whatever. But I feel like there's this part of us where our identity is we're not so associated with it, like ourselves. But I just wanted to sort of touch on how important how you physically look is, because most people have eyes and can see, and that's your first impression of someone. But it's like, if I don't really associate myself with my identity, what are you getting when you look at me if it's not me?
Fucking lack of ego, baby.
It's like, you may think this is me, but this is just one of 1,000 me's.
I think that's how it should be. I think we can get caught up in the vanity of how we're being perceived. Mm-hmm. And I think our ego, we need that because it's how we function in the third dimension.
Yeah.
But it's hard because, okay, right, so this is something that's super complex and there's like a million different facets that you can go down.
Yeah.
Like the first one that comes to mind is, I have this theory, there's a bridge by my house. And this is a gentrified part of town. And there's a bridge where a lot of crazy people coagulate. And it's weird, they're all talking to somebody that's not there, but they're all like facing different directions, but they all coagulate. Whoa. And congregate on this bridge.
It's like the Godhead at HEB.
I told Elizabeth about that. I think she shit herself because she was like, that is a crazy sculpture. I know. I was like, who did that? I want to know more.
I love it.
God lives outside of our grocery store is what we're referencing. There's a crazy fucking like complex
multi-directional, it's got scoops,
wind sculpture. Yeah. And I'm like, that's God. Like, it's so complex and it moves so
it's
delicately.
Got, like, all these colors. So I don't know.
I'll post a picture of it.
I know I've got one.
Do you really?
I
Okay,
think
good.
so.
Because I don't know if it actually exists on
There's
the
just
internet.
so many pictures to go through to find it, but I'll find it.
But I found out that this creek with the bridge crosses is where Native Americans lived for like, I don't know, 50,000 years. This creek that's like abandoned and full of homeless person doo-doo. And I'm like, what if they're all communing with something? And I love I have to drive through it to go to the grocery. I have to drive through this bridge all the time, and I'm always just like looking at everybody. That's besides the point. But their hair is all crazy. It's matted. They're dirty. They don't have shoes. I always see this one woman, and she's younger. She may be younger than us. She never has shoes,
man.
and I always want to give her my shoes, but I'm like, she's just going to lose them. You know, probably people are giving her shoes, and she doesn't want to wear them. And there was a barber in New York who started giving haircuts for free.
Mm-hmm.
And just like going and just like cleaning people and bathing them, and how much that would scrub off a lot of the insanity, because it's like, if you're gonna look crazy, you're gonna fucking feel crazy.
It's true. Like, how you appear on the outside kind of sets the tone for how you're gonna act, right?
Yeah, I've had days where I'm like, I gotta get out of this, whatever I'm wearing, I hate it, you know. And then you go put on a toga and you're like, oh
yeah. When you put on your cape last time, that fucking exploded you. So yeah, sometimes when I'm not feeling cute, I'll like wash my hair and put on mascara and put on a dress, and then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I can do this after all. I just needed a little bump. But I don't know, I just feel like people put too much stock in it.
I do too. I think
it's just one of so many different facets of a person.
A server called me sir once in Galveston, and she was so embarrassed, and I looked at her and I go, say sir again.
Call me sir.
I just fucking loved it. I was like, yeah, is that how I come off to you?
I dig that too.
As like a big dude. Because I was like, wasn't dressing in like I looked just like how I always do. And she still called me sir, and I was like, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I'm your daddy.
She was touching some weird belly button of mine that I didn't understand, but
that also resonates with me.
I like the you're like,
yeah, it's like, I could be both, couldn't I? Yeah.
There's chaos there, and we like chaos.
That's the liminal space I like to occupy. It's sort of like a trickster kind of spirit, where you're like, male or female? Wouldn't you like to know?
And the true key is non-attachment. I don't fucking care what you say. I'm not offended. Like, it's fine.
It's just nice to be open to whatever the experience currently has to offer.
Yes. Instead
of like clinging to some ideal that's made up.
Was
completely.
your bro clinging? Is that why you...
No, I just remarked on how different he looked, and then I was like, actually, that happens to me all the time too. Like, all the pictures of me, I look like a completely different person, and I don't know what that's about, but we sort of decided that it was because during our very formative years, like 6 years old to 10 years old or so, we were just like handed off and handed around to different caregivers, and I think that kind of fucked with our sense of identity and like who we are.
No root.
Yeah, like sort of what's our foundation? What do we value? Are we establishing any values, or are we just surviving? And so we sort of thought that maybe that was the basis of our continual and perpetual updating. Like, maybe I'll find something that actually represents me. But I
feel like you're kind of finding that through creation, because you're circling the drain of like, the everlasting gobstopper that I am is who I am.
Yeah, it feels so good to make rubbish, because it feels like that is like the purest expression of myself with a capital S.
Your cinnamon.
My cinnamon self. So yeah, it's cool to look nice, but also it's important to be nice.
That's the most important thing. There's a lot of fixation on how you're being perceived, and I'm like, yeah, but do you hold the door open for people when no one's watching?
Yeah, you gotta be that. I don't know, your actions have to speak for you.
Yeah, I always wonder if our fixation on how we're being perceived is like a pupa stage and something bigger. You know, you're like, oh, okay, the babies, at least something's happening. But I think this is a really immature point of fixation.
It's got to go deeper. It's got to be deep.
Deep.
Got to make it deep.
Speaking of deep, you were commenting, speaking of deep, you were commenting on my latest vlog, which I pooped out because I have two
Loved
other
it.
videos that are fucking complicated and it's just easier to whip that up. And I was thinking about joy, and I'm starting to witness, if somebody commented like, you know, look at all the stuff you have, it's so great, you're not like on the side of the road and blah blah blah, and I was like, yeah, no, I know, but I don't see it that way. I see bills that have to be paid. I see all the stressors and the maintenance and the, you know, this has to do, these motorcycles have to go out for a certain amount of rentals, otherwise they're not being paid. You know, it's like, I don't ever go, this is great. It like rare. Sometimes I do, if I'm not thinking about it too hard. Like, this is fucking rad. And then sometimes I'm like, God damn it, what the fuck is wrong with me? You know,
There's two sides to the coin.
Bask in joy. And then I was thinking about how my joy is often with Ruby is squashed by like, oh, we're playing with this caterpillar. I'm like, man, there are no more butterflies. They're all fucking dying, man. I should plant. You know, it's like, then you start spiraling.
That intelligence.
Yeah, the bigger pictureism. It's like such a fucking bummer.
Analysis.
Yes. And it's like funny because I meditate every day, but I think that part of me is so strong and ripped and has like a 20-pack of abs and
The critical self.
Like,
the rational, the logical.
Yeah.
What is your thing called again? Fuck. Logician.
She's
a logician. Is it ISNP? INTP? I'm INFP. I don't know.
We just wrote it down.
We
and now it's
just
gone.
knew it. Oh well. She's a logician. She be thinking about shit. But it's cool when she thinks because she opens up portals. It's cool. I like it.
It does feel kind of nice. Yeah, it does.
When you think?
To open up portals.
Oh, yes.
Or to think enough to want to put a podcast out, or to think enough. Elizabeth connected my thinkingness with, she's like, well, you like to ride motorcycles. You need to like have that kind of ability to work on it and get on it and ride it and like perceive it. And I was like, huh, okay, this is, yeah, I guess that's.
She's so cool.
I know. That's one way to put it. And then she said I should sculpt.
What would you make?
I don't know. She asked me that too. And I was like, well, besides being paralyzed an option, because I'm not going to go to an art store and be like, you know, I could grab anything, but
just make a mug to start off.
Just make a mug and then drink from it.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Fucking drink from it.
Give it the biggest handle that you've ever seen.
Just like an obnoxiously big hand. I can't fit it in the dishwasher.
Tiny cup, gigantic handle, two-hander.
Yeah, or just like a sippy cup.
Oh, two handles. Cool, it's settled. Sculpt that mug.
You find joy, I feel like, you are like the yin to my yang. You are like always in a joyous state of fucking unbound bliss.
I feel like my early on studies of Buddhism really laid a good foundation for me to notice joyful things throughout all my experiences. I do think gratitude is a huge thing when it comes to feeling joyful. Because like I said on the comment, I was like, I have this dope meat suit that's transporting my spirit and mind for the time being. It can run and jump and climb and dance and skate and do shooty hoops and make dope foods, and that's all a joy. Like, there are a lot of problems that can come from having a meat suit and from inhabiting a meat suit.
Hemorrhoids, for
example. Menstruation happens every month, which can be kind of a bummer, but also kind of cool to have a monthly thing.
I was thinking about my gratitude, and it's funny, like gratitude towards Lucas and Ruby and a house and these things I worked my fucking ass off to get. Nothing has been handed to me. It's like this really stoic, militant, sacred. It's not joyous and relaxed. It's like, this is mine.
I have fought for this.
I must protect it. There's like a sense of responsibility and like I feel like a knight towards my gratitude. It doesn't feel like...
That is an interesting take. Do knights feel joy by protecting the things that they care about?
Yeah, maybe well, this is a boomdocker.
A humdinger. We got a boomdocker humdinger coming on.
Not a boomdocker.
We're making up vocab. Take notes. You're gonna want to remember that.
Will you marry me?
We are married, dude.
That in my life. Lucas he's like, I feel like I need to be on the podcast with you because, I'll fill in all the potholes of your mind. And I was like, yeah.
That's so beautiful. They just celebrated their anniversary.
A fucking 8
I died
years.
inside.
Oh,
so beautiful.
It is beautiful.
It's hard work, though. Like
it is hard
said.
work. You have to change yourself. You have to, it's a lot of work and a lot of good work, a lot of good self work. What were we just talking about?
Shit.
Nights. A different kind of joy.
That's right.
Oh yeah, we got that. We got that fucking bitch back.
We didn't need our aluminum dunce caps.
Maybe joy to me looks different. I was telling Elizabeth that sometimes metaphysics and the esoteric stuff, like I'll hop on a group call and they start talking about apothecary shit and herbs and like tarot cards, and I'm just like, I gotta go. And then I leave my body because to me, if I had to, and I don't know what this is, but to me that's more Renaissance and I'm more sci-fi, and I need it to be fed to me in a different way in order for it to resonate. Otherwise I kind of like, and I connect with the earth too, but it's just different. I don't feel it that way. But maybe joy for me is not always this nakedness or something.
Huh. Well, I'm thinking about...
maybe there's no going back to some degree. Like if you're a knight, you've been to battle, right? And
Definitely.
And you're not going to like be able to resort unless you're on drugs, which I have a funny story, of course, after that. But it's like, as a knight, you can't like go back.
You are not innocent.
Right. Ooh.
There's no innocence
I feel like
about
you're
that.
Telling me something that I need.
And it's like, maybe you can't return to a state where you're not weighed down by the world.
Sometimes it's like, am I chasing something that doesn't exist?
But I feel like I'm really really good at forgetting stuff, and that's why I can inhabit that sort of innocent state where I'm unaffected, but like I snap out of it every once in a while and have to face reality. But you are a lot more locked in to the world's suffering,
and is part of that my just who I am. Like how much of it is like, now I'm starting to realize how I've been running away from the logician, and like, but it's like, how do you integrate it versus like, God, you're always fucking in charge and you're always doing this. And it's like, I get it, Ripley from Alien. Like,
that's such a dope personage to embody though. It's powerful, it's strong, but that doesn't mean you always have to be the powerful, strong Ripley character.
Yeah, doesn't she?
It seems like that would be, but she also shows tenderness with her baby.
Dude, I sobbed watching Aliens.
Can we watch it after we finish Constantine? Because I watched it like 15 years ago, but I need to do it again.
She goes in to retract to get the little girl from the queen. And there's this moment where the queen alien is like, okay. Like there's this moment of understanding.
Between mothers.
Yeah, with the fucking queen alien. And Ripley fucking blows her shit, like still fucking detonates the entire hive. Because obviously, fuck you, you ate everybody, and like you can't.
That's what humans do.
Yeah,
Humans will obliterate a threat to their species.
And the way she's holding her, I was like, oh my God, that was like a big therapy moment. I remember going into therapy talking about aliens, and I had to like explain the whole plot to my therapist. Like, no, Sigourney Weaver, and then, her
head is shaved.
Head, hair, it's gone.
Hair's gone. Do you understand?
What does joy look like to a knight for you?
For a knight?
Yeah.
I think knights live to
Pee
serve.
in their armor? Okay.
And I think doing acts of noble service, selfless service, as long as they can fulfill whatever they imagine their duty is. Like that fulfilling of duty.
Speaking of duty.
We just saw a Rubikins.
Is she with her father? Is he here?
Did he go get coffee?
I thought he did.
Hey, Ruby, come here, honey. This is a good discussion.
I know. It's revelatory. Because it's like, what am I supposed to do? Flop or go back to the flop? That doesn't seem like me. Flopping around, which is how I would regress.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you evolve?
I think now that you have a baby, your joy is very much intermingled with her joy and her experience.
Yes, and like I get a mom boner when I look at her toes. I'm like, ugh. This morning when she climbed into bed and she grabbed my face, she's like, I love you, Mama. And I was like, yeah! Oh yeah! Oh shit! Oh God!
That is a beautiful, pure joy that I may never know, but who knows? Who knows?
You'll know it soon.
You think so?
Oh, I fucking know so.
We'll see. We'll see.
Don't you want a shotgun wedding while you're preggers?
Yes, that's what I want.
Okay, just. All right. Well, we lost 20 minutes of footage. I think gotta find a different camera solution.
Well,
or we can just start doing it this way, then we fucking know when it goes out.
Right. I am gonna go to Best Buy and get an external hard drive, so maybe I can pick something up while I'm there. Do you have anything there?
Or we just go back to the fucking GoPro, because the GoPro knows what's up. It doesn't do this iPhone shit. It's fucking iPhone shit.
iPhone bullshit.
God, we got into it, and I feel different. Like, whenever I make a big realization... If y'all hear a little baby bum in the background, it's because I'm a mother and there's just shit
we
going
have
on
a
all the
family,
time.
so suck it if you don't like it. What a strange thing to demand when it's currently in use.
She won't touch Lucas's phone. I don't know what it is.
We were talking about joy
and talking about
and like being a knight and experiencing joy. The Ripley connection.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
What does joy look like? Oh, that was the story I was going to tell. The first time I microdosed, I took too big of a dose, and I had to
It was a macro dose.
It was a macro fucking dose, and I sat on the kitchen with Ruby, and I just like kind of like was in that uncomfortable state where everything's like a little too Las Vegas.
Oh God.
And Ruby and I just like played with magnets, and then I ate like 4 popsicles. And she was like, Mom, let's go do something else. And I was like, no. We just like sat and played, and in that state of joy, I mean, there was a little bit of panic because I didn't want to be there, but I can't mimic that in my sober life,
I think that's very much being here and being now and just doing what you're doing and getting joy out of that.
Right.
The purity of that experience. Because if you're not thinking about something else and you're super focused, I feel like that is joyful.
Yeah.
Or can be a version of joy. If it's something that you enjoy doing, right? Oh man, I was doing so good at shooty hoops. When I got there was already a dude there. So I had to represent. and then 2 more dudes showed up, and I was going hard in the paint.
Is everybody, when they're playing basketball, just like doing their own thing at the court?
Yes,
because it's not like they're gonna try to come over to your hoop and fuck with your shit. There's multiple hoops.
Everybody, most of the people that I see there are just there to do what I'm doing, which is just shoot around by themselves and like work up a sweat and then get on with their lives. But these 2 dudes came and were kind of doing one-on-one. But I felt like I like held my ground, and they were like scared for their ball to go near me. Not scared, but just like respectful. I think when you're on a court, like doing some type of sport thing and you're like sharing space, it's important to like be dominant and not let people like fuck with you, you know?
Yeah.
'Cause sometimes people want to appear and then take up more space than you take
they
up.
get magnetized to you because you're there doing a thing, and they're a moon and they want to fall into your orbit.
Like, whoa, have you been doing this for a while? It's like, longer than you, dick.
My clit's longer than your fucking dick. Get out of here. That's all you need to say, and then they'll run away.
And they'll leave.
They'll leave.
Get right out of here. No, they were nice and respectful, but it's not like I talked to them. I was just like, fuck you. Get out of my face.
Were you that way a year ago?
No.
Whoa.
This has been a steady like building of confidence and just like leading from the chest, you know? Just like, I am sure that what I'm doing is great. And it's not hurting anyone. It's not adversely affecting anyone. So I'm going to do it as hard as I can, you know? And I feel like I can attribute that attitude shift to you and our relationship and all the ways that we've grown and
I think that was a year ago when I sent you that voice message where I was like, I don't want to offend you, but like, you need to do your shit and like stop. You know?
I love how direct you were with that. It didn't hit me in any wrong way at all.
I think I was just worried to talk about your business. You know, I was just like...
I think I knew that it was coming from a place of love.
Yeah.
And knowing that, having that solid foundation is like, yeah, you're right. Oh shit. I need to do better. Like for myself, you know? And if you're telling me something that's going to help me improve my life, like obviously you love me, you know? It's not like it would do anything for you.
Out of it. What the fuck are you doing?
So yeah. Feeling pretty good.
Teresa had a question, and your fucking answer made me almost piss my pants. So she was asking, what do we have exceptional insight on? What do we know? And like, what do we have accessed in unearned understanding? And Megan was just like, sauces.
When I make sauce, I feel that when I'm making sauce.
What a fucking important talent that I would suggest maybe 90% of Americans don't know shit about making sauce because they just buy it in a can and then it's done. And you're like the
magic and art of sauce
Yes.
creation. Oh man, I could just sit and dream about different sauces all day long. Making sauce. Sauce is what makes the food
always just been effortless to you.
So much better. I know it's taken a lot of practice. It's taken a lot of tasting and adjusting, but yeah, I'm inspired by making sauce. If you hand me a plate and you're like, make a sauce for this, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna see what's in the fridge and I'm gonna make a really dope sauce.
Dude, good sauce is so hard to find too, and it's just,
it elevates the plate.
oh my god,
It totally elevates your experience. If you have like an understanding of like texture and flavor and color and, you know, those types of things.
Speaking of sauce, I asked you for the fruit salad dressing. I fucking made it last night and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Why has this been kept from me? It was lime juice, olive oil, and lime zest and some salt and you
little
drizzle
honey.
it and honey, and you drizzle it on your fucking fruit, and then your dick gets bigger because it's
Your dick
so
grows from
fucking good.
Yeah, when I'm teaching that in class, I just remember what they
Hannah
told me.
said it was her favorite part. She's like, this sounds
the
really
fruit
weird.
salad, yeah.
The fruit salad was the best because no one does that.
Right. It's I just thought like when you're eating a fruit salad or whenever you get like a fruit cup in the outside world, it's like, this fucking sucks. This is bland. This is watery.
It is the kidney stone of the produce section. You're
It's like ew, why do I want to eat this mixed fruit cup of shit?
everything tastes like soggy grapes.
It's awful. But then if you get really nice fruit, you cut it up in cute little pieces and then you dress it with lime zest, lime juice, honey, olive oil, salt, and mint. It's just it's cool because of the mint. It's slightly bitter and
The lime zest gives it this Fruit Loops, Fruity Pebbles sort
Yeah.
of fucking bangerang.
it's pretty dope. And I dare say that you could make that vinaigrette and put it on chicken or shrimp or something too.
Oh shit!
And it would
yeah,
be
simple.
pretty raucous.
Shrimp would be really good.
Shrimp would be really good. So sauce, I
Sauce
love it. I
boss.
love to eat it. Sauce boss.
I feel like you know more about my vision than I do when it comes to insight because it is such a profound aspect of who I am to be able to look at somebody and see why they're that way. I can always see why someone is that way given my upbringing.
It's sort of like Shinigami eyes. Do you know that concept?
No.
So there's a anime called Death Note, but there's like this Japanese death god. They're called Shinigami, and they can see when someone is going to die. They just look at them and they see like a number or a date or something floating above their head. And so if you look at someone with your Shinigami eyes, then you can see when they're going to die, and they can't. So I don't know, maybe your vision is something like that, but not about death, maybe about breakthroughs or
Trauma?
Yeah,
Can see people's trauma.
I can see your pain. I can see the base of that or where it's coming from.
Yeah, I can see pain. I'm a pain seer.
And I think that is so valuable in this world because everyone is in pain
All the time.
I was thinking more about like psychedelics and how they can be used in a therapeutic way, and how you having a career where you administer these types of transformative drugs and then guide the experience, the world would be so fucking lucky to have you operating on that level.
Ooh, I'd love to do it. I would prefer my services be free. I would only really want to work with those who need it. I want to do gang violence psychedelic work.
Yes.
Prisoner, I'm like so passionate about prisoners and abolitions, and I was thinking how fucked up it is that your bro can't like date. You are deprived of all, and then you just get flicked back into society and go, oh, hope he doesn't do any. Nope, that's it.
Yeah, there's
so
no attention to
fucked.
their actual humanity and like all the different ways that people need to live and express themselves and be with others, and people will say like there's a social contract and you broke the social contract, so you have to be punished.
None of those people are mothers.
But we don't have to go into it, but his crime
Is nothing
was nothing
the
compared to what he
fucking
was sentenced.
40, how many years?
40 years.
No one died.
No one was even hurt.
No one died.
He never hurt anyone.
No children were involved. There's like, you see that sentence and you go, what the actual fuck?
And he believes in his heart that he deserves to be punished for what he did, but the extent to which he is being punished is just unfair.
Yeah, it makes sense that we're like number 2 in terms of harsh punishment. Like, it's Saudi Arabia and then America. Like, we just like don't.
It's those mandatory minimums, That's what's stacked up against him, because his illegal weapon charge breaking and entering charge, grand larceny charge. He got 7 felonies, and each one carried a mandatory minimum sentence, and they all stacked up.
Thanks, Bill Clinton, you fucking nematode, you fucking globin.
So many of our people are
incarcerated.
incarcerated. And, well, the cool thing about Josh, my brother, is that he has like a hunger to like learn and develop and change.
Speaking of which, send him a book.
Yay,
I sent
him
him
a book.
3 books yesterday. You can do it via Amazon. Is it okay if we maybe in the description post?
That would be amazing.
So I sent him Fingerprint of the Gods. I've sent him a Robert Anton Wilson book, which he really
said thank you already. I was like, Whitney curated like your spiritual healing for you. Just get ready. He's very grateful.
He's fucking hungry for knowledge.
Yeah.
Send him some fucking books because he's trapped. He's fucking trapped.
Very literally trapped. But he has been working this job where he's like, I call it rec manager, but he's like, I'm not a manager, dude. I'm like, well, you manage all the gear. So like they have free weights and like medicine balls and other things that they use for exercise, and it's his job like at the end of every rec period to like put everything back. And he's also been doing like a computer class every morning. And he told me this was a cool detail. When he first took it, he realized that it was mostly like really basic stuff that he kind of already knew because we had a desktop before he went to prison. And he like spoke with the instructor, and he said, hey, like, I mean, I don't want to like take up space if somebody else can take this class and really like needs to learn how to type, but I like, this is kind of a little too elementary for me, my dear Watson. And the instructor said after Josh did the class and showed that he was exceedingly proficient at those tasks, the instructor said, if there's any like program that you want to learn or anything specific that you want to touch on, we can do that. Oh. And I was so jazzed that somebody in that system was like, we can tailor something to you, my dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane to hear that somebody wants to put that kind of effort into their job in that system, because I thought all hope was lost. But so, I mean, Josh doesn't know what programs to ask for, though. Like, I don't know what.
Well, what's going to help, what, Excel spreadsheet? What do you.
And if his release date is 2049, what fucking systems and programs are we going to be using at that time?
God. Send a lawyer? Send us a lawyer?
Who's a lawyer?
Who can maybe
play.
Help. It sucks because he was 20. Like, that's what Hannah was
20 years
saying.
old.
Hannah's a lawyer, and Hannah's like, here are these firms that help, unfair punishments to the youth. And I'm like, 20 is so close to 19.
I know. I've reached out to a couple of groups before on his behalf, like people who, when you commit a crime at that age, you're still technically a child, even though you're tried as an adult. And then you get such an egregiously long sentence. There should be some type of reevaluation just based on that principle alone, like the age of the offender. But they've all said that 20 was just a little too old. He never had his driver's license. He worked at Pizza Hut. He worked at Golden Corral. He's so fucking charming that whatever his job, he would just immediately rise to the top of the like social whatever. So that's what he's occupying in prison now. He like tells everybody what to do at the phones. He's always on the phone.
It's his only way out.
I know.
Anyways,
thanks for letting me talk about my brother. He's 1 year and 12 days older than me.
I'm gonna put the address and where you can send him stuff. Send him books. Yeah. No hardcovers.
No hardcover. No spiral bound.
No
it has to be through a reputable purveyor like Amazon. And yeah, 3 at a time, please.
Only 3 at a time. I had to take some books out of the cart, but I figured just
such an angel.
Send them again.
Thank you very, very much. It's one of the strangest experiences of my life to have had my brother incarcerated for 40 years.
That is insane. I cannot get fucking over that.
Because we grew up together, obviously. We were always, my mom calls us Dutch twins because we're so close in age. And he was like the yin to my yang. He's chaos and destruction. Yeah. And I was like order and like
love
and fear. But it's just crazy. It blows my mind. That is how his life ended up. And I was thinking about this when I was driving around earlier. I was like, we have the same DNA. We had basically the same upbringing. What went so awry for his story that's where he ended up? How are we so different?
Well, to me, when you have kids, they absorb different mitochondrial, or rings of your double helix, and there's a lot of them. Mm-hmm. I actually recently asked my uncle for any stories of my dad because I was like, the dad that I know is like ornery and addicted to his phone. I need to know who he was because I want to know if I have any of those traits.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get those this weekend.
Oh, shit.
Which I'm really excited about.
You're visiting with him?
No, he's going to send them to me.
How? Like write them down?
I just told him like a cell phone footage or an audio clip or whatever, however he wants to, just wants stories, like fucking cool stories of him not just playing Candy Crush and calling everybody a Babylonian slut on it.
Farting into his TikTok.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm like, okay, but who are you? Your dad, we were talking like my dad would text me poop. It'd been like 6 months since I talked to him and he'd sent poop.
Yeah.
Like over and over again, and I was
that
like,
is so familiar to me.
Yeah, I'm like, it's kind of funny, but it's also like there's no connection there. Like that's all the connection you can muster up.
Well, he might
like,
have been brain fried. I think my parents are brain fried to an extent.
But the connection I was thinking between your brother is with your dad, and how essentially the spiral into ending up in jail was like because your dad was like modeling that behavior. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of Lucas and I have talked about this, like he got a lot of his male features from his older sister's boyfriends who showed him cool music and showed him cool cars and like gave him something to fucking think about because there's no war, so we can't make good soldiers, so what else are you gonna do? And it's like, well, ultimately if you get into that sort of shit,
I wish my brother had had a fucking hobby. All he ever wanted to do was have sex and do drugs.
Yeah.
And
kick your dog. Kick your dog into oblivion.
But he's very wise. He's wising up. He's sober. He's been sober for like 10 years or 7 years. I don't know. But I'm proud of him. The progress that he's made.
There's a lot to be proud of.
He's really matured over the last 15 years that he's been away. Life is crazy.
Life is really fucking crazy.
I'm so into it, but it's like I have to like stand back and look at like take the wide panoramic view sometimes to get a handle on everything.
Yeah.
So one of our beloved what is it? Regulars?
Fans?
One of our regulars. Spencer asked if we could jump in a time machine to the year 2015 and tell people our highlights and lowlights. He said the good and the bad from between 2015 and 2021. What would you share? What can you recall from this time period? I can't remember anything except pain.
Okay, Megan remembers pain.
From 2015 at least. That was a painfully hard year, but a very transformative one. It was, my dad passed away at the end of August in 2014.
Okay.
So 2015, I was working as catering supervisor at Eastside King, and a lot of other bad things happened that I don't really want to go into. But when I think back to that time, I'm like, damn, that was a low point. And I'm glad I'll never be there again, you know?
It's important to get to that place so you know what up looks like, you know, or you know.
And if it's up, then it's stuck.
And if did you know she said that song is about poop? Yeah.
She's trolling everyone.
She is. The only thing that comes to mind is I remember riding my motorcycle to work. I was pregnant, and it was one of the last times I was riding pregnant because my gear was starting to be too tight. And I remember looking at the hotel that I worked at as I was pulling up and being like, when I quit, this place is gonna fucking burn. And it did. The pandemic happened, and now it's all gone. I laughed in bed with a newborn baby as like I called it. Like I fucking called it. I said everything was gonna get turned upside down. From 2015 to 2020, I worked my fucking ass off. I feel like that's all that I did.
Yeah, you got the what was the honor that bestowed on you? The 100 best bartenders in the world.
I got number
Bombay Sapphire.
Bombay Sapphire most imaginative bartender in the world.
Yeah, bitch.
I got top bartender in Austin. I won a Tastemaker award or a nominee. I don't think I won it. It's a dog and pony show once you get into that realm. And then
I always thought that it, you know, those types of accolades are very much associated with like your social circles, you know?
Without a doubt. And then
which sucks.
I got into a really crazy rum competition too when I was one of the bartenders like I did in all of Texas.
She opened my whole world on rum.
It was just like one thing after the other when I came here, and I quickly got very tired of it. It was like, oh, okay, I gotta go. Bye.
But you just like blasted in and made a name for yourself. Is that still going?
Let's see.
Hold the line. Oh, c'est bien. C'est bien. Did you have any Sour Patchies? Can you see?
I need blue ones.
I haven't had a blue yet.
You need a fucking blue.
I had some
one.
greens, and I did have a red. I do love a red.
Child. I was looking for the peaches. They have Sour Patch peaches, and
whoa, soft and chewy
green,
candy.
yellow can suck it.
Blue raspberry.
Yeah, it's an interesting question because you and I really have poor concepts of time.
Yeah, I tried to look through my photos to see if anything jogged my memory.
I went to Mexico a lot and saw ancient ruins and did a lot of psychedelics on my birthday, and I worked fucking all the time. And then I had a baby, and then I met Yammy Noob. And then that was it. And now here I am.
Highlight was meeting Whitney in 2017. That was a highlight. That's when we started doing
photos of you, but you and I weren't really close.
We didn't really start hanging out that much. We would just, connect through Aaron. It was when you
broke up with Nick, I think, is when you were starting to hang out with people.
Yeah, because I was very cloistered during that. But I've been opening up ever since. More and more every day. And it just really like establishing myself as the baseline instead of like some codependency on another person. That's been huge for me. I feel like I've always been up somebody else's butt.
And now, with a coconut?
And now I'm just up my own butt. Where I belong.
Perfect. What an important lesson to learn, I think, for women.
Yes.
Like, get off their fucking dick. Go do something else.
Yeah, I think that I'm realizing that my drive to, like, create something or, like, pack my schedule with shit that I gotta do is very attractive to people.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, well, okay. I'm gonna keep doing this shit. I might have some time at some point to spend with someone else, but right now it's like,
well, that inner, like that, just that vibratory essence of do and create and flow and flow and flow is going to make you attract, or has, Skirt has made you attract somebody who can meet you where you're at?
Yeah, I Oh, now I'm all like all flustered and shit.
I mean,
insane Stone Temple posse. That's all I'll say.
Stone Temple Posse.
ISTP.
Stone Temple Pilot Posse.
The Myers-Briggs ISTP.
Okay.
That personality type.
Oh, and that's your way to remember it.
Insane Stone Temple posse. But it's been called the Tinkerer. It's been called the Virtuoso. And let's just say I'm a little captivated. So. At first I said Insane Stone Temple Pilots, but then he changed pilots to posse.
Why? Just cause?
So there'd be a little more integration of Insane Clown Posse.
He's like, don't peg me as a Stone Temple
He's like, don't
pilot.
peg me. We just met.
What is this Stone Temple? What was that thing I said when I was sleeping on my motorcycle? Like, Caterpillar hardly knew her. It's like a
oh my god,
stupid dad joke.
Should I post that video? I feel like it's violent because the caterpillar dies.
The only thing that sucks is you getting the 30-point fucking U-turn of me trying to get out of the garage. I was like, my garage is at a slant. I can barely touch anything, and the video keeps panning up to me, and I like keep going back.
He's doing the Austin Powers thing.
Yeah. Beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, I thought it was really cute how Ruby was just trying to wish you a goodbye.
Oh,
and then she was like,
be safe.
How does she say caterpillar?
Yeah, Kappa of something.
Kappa-doda. Dita Dada-dito.
Kappa-dita Dada-dito. Danny DeVito.
I was talking to my brother on my earbuds the other day and driving, and I was like, oh shit, I just saw a lady who looked like Danny DeVito. He laughed. He's like, was she wearing a leopard skin dress? I was like, yes. Hey, don't eat that. Don't eat that, buddy.
You
oh my god.
Dog dick eating.
Dicky doo, eating your own poo.
I want to know what this Danny DeVito lady looked like now.
She looked like Danny DeVito.
Dude, I am so glad we're back.
Oh,
wait, are you gone next week? No, you're gone this weekend.
I'm gone this weekend, but I'll be back on Tuesday.
Okay,
let's
sick.
see.
I can't have you go to space camp again and leave me here without anybody to talk to.
Let me see.
People were like, so Whitney, when's the next one
shit.
coming out? And I was like, oh.
Hell yeah, next week looks great.
Okay, good.
And then we have a podcast on the 20th to do. That'll be cool.
That'll be fun.
That'll be great. Maybe we can shoot new rubbish on, well, the 16th.
Let's do it.
Yeah?
Let's do it.
Sick. I want to make dumplings.
Shinpaku dumplings?
What's that?
Wait, what's the thing? What is shinpaku? It's a type of sake. What is it when you stab yourself with a samurai sword?
seppuku.
Seppuku. Very different
Harakiri.
from shinpaku. I'm trying to think of what would come out of you.
Everything. That's the point. You're supposed to disembowel yourself. I forget who was talking about it, but they were like, how could you get the sword? How could you do it? I
believe that a samurai could do it.
When you go in,
they could do it.
Maybe you could go up, but how could you go over and down and cut out a big square of your body? One of my favorite animes was, I think it's called Yasuke. I listen to the Flying Lotus album for Yasuke all the time when I'm prepping or cleaning. And there's also a really good, like, the theme song is sung by Thundercat.
Oh,
so good.
Fuck yeah.
But that show I really, really loved. And then there was a lot of concepts about, like, honor and defending your honor and, like, love and betrayal and like opening yourself back up after you're betrayed or hurt. And I would recommend that show. It's very violent, but it's like sort of fantasy violence, which is kind of the only violence that I can tolerate. Or sci-fi violence. I dig that too. But yeah, watch Yasuke, the Black Samurai. Is good.
See you guys next time.
Oh shit, it's over?
Yeah, you've got a fucking show to fucking go film, you biddy.
Alright, we'll see y'all on public access. I think it's like channel 10 or something. I don't know.
I got a wedgie.
Pick your wedgies. Bye.